Okay, good afternoon, everybody. It looks like we still have a couple more people logging in, but we'll go ahead and kick this webinar off. And I'd like to say good afternoon and welcome to Mastering Retail Management, Conquering Key Challenges, brought to you by Priority Software. We are beyond excited today to show you how you can overcome some of the hardest challenges in managing your retail operations with the latest in retail management solutions. My name is Dayna Carlin, your host for today's webinar. If you turn the slide, please. So before we get started, I wanted to go over a few housekeeping items. Today's webinar is being recorded and I will share it shortly after we conclude. Now, if at any time during the presentation you have a question, no worries, just type it into the chat box or in the question box and I will do my best to get it answered during our Q&A portion at the end of the webinar. If by chance we do not get to everyone's questions, don't worry, I'll make sure to reach out to you directly and ensure we get them answered for you. Now that we have that out the way, we have a lot of ground to cover today in just a short amount of time. And to start off, you'll meet today's presenters, and then we'll dive into the top challenges inhibiting retailers to obtain their growth goals. And then from there, we'll showcase how you can exactly overcome those hurdles with Priority Software's Retail ERP solution. And of course, you guys will see it live in a live interactive demo. So without further ado, let's meet our presenters. Our first presenter is Pete, who brings over 20 plus years of retail management experience in helping retailers find the best solutions for their landscape. When Pete isn't working, you can find him behind a stove doing what he loves best, cooking for his family. Our next presenter is Yariv. He is a VP of Business Development International Sales, who brings over 17 plus years experience, in designing, developing, and supporting retail ERP solutions. If Yariv is not in front of a computer, you can find him on a basketball court. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you, Pete, and take us through.
Okay, thank you, Dayna. First, I'd like to start by giving you a 10,000-foot view of Priority Software, who we do, what we do, and what we're best known for. Priority is best known for our ERP and retail ERP solutions. We've been in business for over 35 years. We're very strong financially. Our company has been growing by double digits for over the past 5 years. We have offices located in Israel, the US, the UK, and Belgium, with over 500 employees and 75,000 customers worldwide. Our solution today is recognized by multiple leading industry analysts, including Gartner, IDC, and more. Here's just a few of our retail customers you may recognize across multiple retail segments that we serve. So anywhere from a 7-Eleven convenience store to clothing and apparel, hardware, etc. Let's take a look at the retail segments that we serve today. We cover a very broad range of retail segments, from fashion and sport all the way to eyewear and optics and everything in between. The best way to summarize this is to tell you who we do not fit, and that is grocery and food and beverage. So basically, any store in your typical mall other than the food court is a potential client for Priority Retail ERP. Now let's talk about some of the main challenges many retailers are facing today in this highly competitive world. The first one relates to having to utilize and manage multiple systems within your business to achieve an end-to-end retail ERP solution. So you're looking at a scenario that most companies are dealing with today, where they've got multiple disparate systems that they've integrated somehow into a retail head office. And that can be quite cumbersome, quite costly, quite inefficient. You have the costs of not only developing those integrations, but maintaining them and supporting them throughout their life. trying to keep these various applications on versions that allow them to work with each other. So there's a lot of overhead, cost, and inefficiencies built into this scenario. And this is one of the main challenges that Priority Retail ERP was built to address. We have an all-in-one retail ERP solution that will provide you a complete end-to-end retail system, retail management system for your business. Let's talk about another big challenge retailers have, which is poor customer experiences. And these can be due to a variety of different situations. You may have stores where you experience long lines and maybe your point of sale solution isn't the quickest in the world, takes some time to ring up sales, which then contributes to these long lines and ultimately frustrated customers. So that is very common amongst a lot of retailers is that situation. I personally am one that does not like standing in a long line, so I can very much relate to that situation. Also, not being able to provide a true omni-channel experience to your customer base. So what does that mean? That means that they're not able to enjoy the same experience at your store, for example, as they do on your website. So as an example, in your store, they can come in, they can use their loyalty points, they have access to all your promotions that you're running, any special customer discounts that apply are also available to them at the store. And that's generally not the case with the e-commerce piece of the business. For the most part, you're not able to really achieve that and offer all of that within your e-commerce solution, just basically due to the level of integration that's available today with most e-commerce solutions that are out there. With Priority, we have a true omni-channel e-commerce solution that allows you to utilize everything I mentioned, promotions, special pricing, discounts, loyalty, etc., all on your e-commerce site, just like you would in the store. And that makes a big difference and dramatically improves the customer experience. You also may not have the ability to handle mobile point of sale. So doing things like line busting in your store if you do experience long lines, or opening up a pop-up store anywhere at any time and being able to ring up sales and process credit cards. With Priority's Mobile POS solution, you can do all of the above. In addition, that solution offers cellular connectivity as well. So it can also be used within your store for a great offline tool to use that will allow you to continue to process transactions and credit cards. And we do have offline mode built into the standard point of sale system as well, but the mobile point of sale takes it to the next level by also providing you that cellular connectivity. And generally, if you're lacking some or all of these, you're really, in a situation where you're probably starting to generate a number of unhappy customers. And unhappy customers end up leaving your business, you lose that revenue, and it's not something most retailers want to experience. Yeah, studies show that retailers that have a strong omni-channel solution retain and maintain close to 90% of their existing customer base. Now we're on to challenge number 3, the cost of on-premise operations versus a cloud SaaS solution. And this can actually be intensified if you're living in the world of the first challenge where you're trying to operate multiple disparate systems. So if you've got both an on-premise as well as an end-to-end retail solution that's comprised of multiple disparate systems, this can even make your on-premise operations even more costly and less efficient. And let's talk about some of the big differences between the two. With on-premise versus cloud SaaS, things like maintenance, scalability, security, compliance, automatic upgrades, backups, and disaster recovery, all of that is included in your cloud SaaS solution. So that alleviates your IT department from having to focus on these areas. It really can help minimize your IT footprint and offset the cost of all of these operations significantly. So how do you overcome all of these challenges? Well, that's what we're here to tell you today. With Priority Retail ERP, we can help you address those challenges and more. We offer an all-in-one centralized retail ERP offering. That's one database, one source of truth, complete data accuracy, not having to maintain multiple databases through multiple disparate systems. We also offer a true omni-channel experience. So as an example, your e-commerce site can look, feel, and act just like your other channels of distribution, your brick and mortar store, for example. All of your promotions, loyalty, customer discounts, etc., are all available to the customer on your e-commerce site, just like they are in your store. Because our solution is provided in a cloud SaaS offering, as we mentioned in the previous slide, all of those operational tasks are now being handled by us with your cloud SaaS solution. So you can greatly alleviate, eliminate in some cases, a lot of your IT hours that you're spending today maintaining your current system, and really focus on what you do best, which is sell your products. In addition, we offer a headless commerce offering, and our headless commerce is a centralized database with business logic and an open interface to any channel, while keeping a unified customer experience, and it's controlled by one head office application. So all of that information goes into your centralized head office application for your internal people to use. And finally, we have an all-in-one mobile solution, as I had mentioned previous. We have the capability of allowing you to ring up sales, process credit cards remote. You can do outside events. It will also work well within the store as a line buster or a personal shopping device if you want to go around with your customers throughout your store and offer them a personal shopper experience. It can be used for that as well. It's a great tool and also an excellent option for offline mode because of the cellular connectivity. Now let's talk about our all-in-one unified commerce offering. This is where you can connect all of your back-end systems with your customer-facing channel via a single platform. So within Priority, because we are a full retail ERP solution, not only will your channels feed into your head office and the other appropriate modules within your retail ERP solution, but we also have additional modules available that can handle warehouse management, manufacturing, supply chain management, CRM, HR, and more. And one of the common things that we see talking to customers today is that at a minimum, they're looking at and dealing with a situation where they've got a retail management solution and they're using some outside third-party system for their financials, for finance, general ledger, payables, receivables. With Priority, all of that is built into our all-in-one retail ERP platform. So there's no need to go out and use any other products for any of this other functionality that you may require in your business. Now let's take a look at a quick case study that's a good example of what we've just been going through. SAR is a company that is an exclusive distributor for Columbia Sportswear. They currently have 50 stores and growing. And when they decided to evaluate our solution, they had several key goals in mind. They definitely wanted to be able to facilitate expansion. They knew they were going to be rolling out new stores over the course of the next several years, and they wanted that process to be smooth and quick and easy. They also had a goal, just a general goal, of boosting their sales by improving their customer experience and being able to act and make decisions on more accurate data, etc. And so that was a big goal of theirs as well, is to get their revenue up as a part of this process. And then finally, they wanted to improve and increase the customer experience with our Omni-Channel offering. So after they had gone through an extensive evaluation of multiple systems, SAR selected Priority Retail in ERP for their chain of Columbia stores. And today they're, experiencing some great success with our solution in place. It's now allowing them to better manage their fashion items, utilizing our 3D Matrix catalog. They're able to offer very comprehensive and detailed loyalty programs and gift cards to their clients that have additional functionality that they did not have in their previous system. Another area that they streamlined was their purchasing. Multi-store purchasing was definitely a challenge for them in the past, and with Priority's retail ERP solution, they've streamlined that quite a bit and are very happy with the way that's currently working for their business. They're also a company that really wanted to utilize our campaigns and strong promotions engine, and they've taken full advantage of that functionality as well. They've also improved their operations with our supply chain and inventory management system, and they're now able to get their financials all out of the same system as opposed to having to use another third-party application for that purpose. So overall, they're a very happy customer. We've got an actual video case study on our website. So if you visit our website, you can actually watch the video on Columbia Sportswear as well that gets into some more detail. And we have several others like that posted on our website, along with a lot of other useful information, brochures, etc. So I would encourage you to visit our site if you haven't already. Okay, this is where I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Yariv. And Yariv's going to take you into Priority Retail ERP and give you a closer look at what we have to offer. Take it away, Yariv.
Thank you, Pete. Hello, everyone. I will try to use the short time I have in hand in order to give you an overview of Priority. This is the Priority homepage. This is my own webpage, homepage. Each user in Priority has its own customized homepage. You can see that I'm using browser in order to reach Priority since it's a SaaS solution. Just by using my URL, user and password, I can access Priority anytime from any place, from any platform. What we see on our homepage is the center area where I have my shortcuts to my mostly used forms, reports, procedures, whatever. We can very easily add entries into these shortcuts just by right-clicking the menu entry and add to homepage, and I will have it on my desktop. We also have portlets that shows online information that is interest for me. Let's say open sales orders or customer invoices. I can add some more from here and choose some more information that I want to present on my desktop every day. On the right side, we have the recent items that I have been using. Instead of going back to the menus and looking for them, Priority keeps them here for quick access. And under that, I have my recent created or updated entities. So if I created a purchase order, for example, and I close the screen, I can go back to it immediately from this link. We also have two search fields. One is searching in the menu. Any entry in the menu, I can just type the name of the entry and Priority will find it for me. And we have the organizational search. This is a very strong tool. Any data I will put in here will be found in Priority anywhere, in any document, in any form, and also in every attachment. So if I have an attachment connected to a document in Priority and the text I typed here is included in this attachment, Priority will bring up the document or the form. Now let's talk about the unified solution. So Pete mentioned all the modules in Priority Retail ERP. So you can see the finance, the CRM, the sales, and another module is the retail head office. It's just another module inside Priority. There is no integration between the retail module and the ERP modules. It's the same database, the same application. They also sharing screens between them. If I go to the head office and I go to inventory management, to the item catalog, it will be the same form of item catalog that my inventory people will be using and other people in the organization will be using without any integrations. Another screen I want to show in the short time we have is the transaction screen. The transaction screen is the form where I have all the transactions, the omni-channel form that shows the transaction coming from all the retail channels. The blue ones are coming from the point of sale, the green ones from the mobile point of sale that Pete mentioned before, the cellular solution, and the red ones are coming from the retail e-commerce website. So I have all the transactions here. And we can see one example of the unified solution that if I'm going into this e-commerce transaction and I look at the items level, I can see that Priority already created a sales order for this sales transaction. And if I drill down by pressing this icon or by pressing the F6 function key, Priority will take me into the sales order that it has automatically created for this sale transaction. And this sales order is already connected to the WMS, ready to be picked up for the customer and ready to be supplied to the customer, without me having to create any interface between the e-commerce website, the retail platform, and the ERP modules. Now, this takes us to another advanced tool of Priority. Before we're leaving the order form, I would like to refer to the BPM, the Business Process Management tool in Priority. The status field is a field that is actually exists in any form of Priority. The movement between statuses in Priority enables us to control the operation of the organization. We can drill down into this status field by pressing this icon or by pressing the F6 function key, and we'll see all the statuses that the sales order can have. And if we press this icon over here, we can see a graphical view of the BPM process. We can see that we can move from one status to another using a set of rules. Let's say I want to move from the draft to confirmed. So I can see I can move through pending authorization, and that means that another person will have to confirm this order before it can be supplied, or there is another route. And if we look here at the red circle and we go into rules, we can see that there is a rule here that says that we can go directly to approve if the value of this order is less than $200. So it doesn't have to go through the confirmation stage. With this process, we can control statuses, we can control what's going on with the document, we can send emails, send notifications if a certain document changes status to something that we want to pop up to someone through notification, through email, and so on. Let's go back to the sales order and talk about another tool, the business rules. The business rules can also create rules that say, send email to a user, send notification to a user, or block user from doing something. And this also allows me to alert my users or my employees if something is stuck in the process. For example, if the sales order has not been attended for 48 hours, Priority knows how to send notification or an SMS or an email to a user or a group of users that I want to alert about this occasion. We can send alerts to almost any fields for any occasion in Priority. The last tool is the data autofill tool, which allows me to automatically fill fields in a certain form if other fields has been populated with a certain data. If a certain field got a certain value, then update another field for a certain value, and this saves a lot of typing. Let's go back to the transaction. Okay. Another thing is how we connect the entire retail transaction with our financial module. Since it's a one platform and it's a unified solution, all the transactions are being aggregated into one daily invoice in Priority. So all the retail transactions are recorded in a daily invoice. And I can see this invoice that have all the transactions from the 21st of September that Priority created automatically out of all the transactions, because I don't need to record each and every retail transaction as a separate document in my financial system. I would like to see it as a consolidated document. Once I have this document, and this document has been finalized after it has been inspected by my accountant, it can be automatically recorded in my financial system. So if I look here at the entry journal, I can see the result of this invoice in my financial system. So without any integration, we took all the retail transactions, we have consolidated them, and we have recorded them in the financial module without any integration. Now let's spend 1 minute to talk about reporting because we're short in time. Priority have 4 types of reports that enables you to extract data from Priority. First of all, each form in Priority is a query form. I can change the date of the data in the form. Instead of handling the 21st of September, I can take out today's transactions. And from here, I can just drop it to Excel. Just by pressing this button, all the information will be extracted to Excel. Except for that, every module in Priority has its own canned report, the reports that are already ready for you to be used and to be ran. And over that, we have the BI capability. Each module in Priority has its own BI capability that enables us to drill down into the information. Let's say I can take this store and drill down into the item level and see the information of the sales for this store in the item level. I can play with the periods. I can compare 2 periods. I can see the information in quarterly or yearly information. And that's another way. The last way I want to talk about is the Priority Report Generator. This is a tool that just by dragging and dropping fields, I can create reports. I have a sales report. I can drag in here let's say, the profit from the cost price. I can go next and I can choose which fields of the reports can be query fields. So I can query my reports according to these fields. I can add formulas and so on. So these are the ways I can create reports out of Priority. And this is a very short brief of Priority ERP retail system. And by that, I will hand it back to Dayna. Dayna?
Wow, thanks, Yariv. That was awesome. So now that does conclude the webinar and the live demo, but I do want to open it up for a Q&A. So again, I'll remind you guys, if you do have any questions, I've seen a couple come through already, but if you do have any, feel free to input them into the question section or the chat box that's located in the GoToWebinar control panel. So Yariv, it looks like this one, or Pete, whoever wants to jump in. We'll start off with the first one that came through, and it asks, do you have a warehouse module? And if so, is it native?
Yeah, we have a WMS module as part of Priority offering. It's a built-in module, and you can have it just by purchasing the license. It's all integrated to Priority inventory management and supply chain.
Great. Awesome. Let's see what the next one is. It says, do you guys export and import legacy data from an existing ERP?
Of course, we can do that. As I showed, Priority has a built-in integration with Excel, and it goes both ways. I can download data from Priority to Excel, and I can also import data from Excel into Priority just by copy and paste. Just take an Excel sheet, copy the data from the Excel, and paste it into any form in Priority. And of course, we can build any interface from Excel, from text files, CSV files, or whatever is required.
Okay, great. And it looks like I have one more for you. Can Priority run on iOS and Android?
Yeah, Priority, since it's a SaaS solution and it runs on a browser, it can also be run on iOS and Android just using a browser.
Okay. It looks like that is the last of our questions. So with that, I'll conclude the webinar and hope everyone has a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.